So we are waiting just a few minutes so that we arrive to 4 o'clock exactly, and we will start with this little message for this next term, winter. Winter started today, this morning, at 10:58 in the morning, and therefore today is the winter solstice. So it is the shortest day and the longest night. So it's 4 o'clock now, and we are starting the session for today, and we are starting with reading a little bit about this winter session that we are going to have. The next 3 months will be in winter. Winter is the time to build, to work, to prepare for the coming spring. As architects and builders of the spiritual path, we need to have the right tools. Every architect needs his tools, and every teacher must build his teachings around a basic structure. To teach the art of living, this structure is an understanding of the nature of the mind, the soul, and the phenomenal world. So along this message for every day, and with our courses and our training programs, we provide, with the best of our ability, these tools for you to tread the spiritual path. The nature of the soul. We begin by examining the nature of the soul and the journey it experiences. What is the soul? Where did it come from? Who created it? Much is said about the Creator and His creation, but we will approach the question from a different angle. Instead of Creator and creation, let's talk about Manifestor and Manifestation. This clarifies things a bit, for the Creator requires the will to create, while it is the nature of the manifestor to manifest. The Creator is a personal concept. The manifestor is an impersonal concept. The manifestor cannot help but manifest, for this process is inherent in him. Just as the nature of the fire is to give heat, so the nature of the manifestor is to manifest. The manifestor cannot exist without manifestation. Divinity contains within itself the seed of the totality of manifestation, just as every tree is contained in the seed. The soul is simply the individualized form of this manifestation, the sum total of all the processes that have occurred from the primordial explosion to its state at the present moment. So This is what many times we speak about. You pull the string, it's your parents, pull the string again, the parents of your parents, pull the string again, the parents of your parents, and continue pulling that string. And all that process, all those experiences, and that string starts in the Big Bang, all that process is the individualized soul, is the individualized mind. The nature of mind. The word mind is used in many ways. Sometimes it is used to speak of the brain, or the intellect, or man's thinking, feeling ability. The concept of mind that we use is broader than that. We first distinguish between universal mind and individual mind. Just as the individual soul is an individualization of the universal spirit of divinity, that energy that shot forth in the Big Bang, in the primordial explosion, the individual mind is an individualization of the universal mind. The universal mind forms the structure that contains all the patterns of the universe, the structure in which everything is contained. It is self-conscious and therefore omniscient and omnipresent. The universal mind is what we could equate to the personal God, in comparison to the individualized mind that we could equate to the individual soul. Now, within the mind we will distinguish three parts: the conscious, the subconscious, and the supraconscious. The individual mind can be divided in three sections. Sorry, I have people waiting here, and I have just admitted them, and I'm going to open this to all participants, which is here, and dehabilitate this. Okay, so now we are all here. Okay, I continue then with the conscious, the subconscious, and the supraconscious. The individual mind, so the individualized mind, not the universal mind, can be divided in three sections: the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the supraconscious mind. The supraconscious mind is located at the finest and subtlest level of the individual mind. The barrier separating the supraconscious mind and the universal mind is thin and transparent. All the light of the divine bathes the superconscious mind, and the supraconscious mind is fully conscious of that universal force. The supraconscious mind is the center of our being and our true essence. The subconscious mind is made of layers upon layers of impressions or samskaras that have been imprinted upon the existential cycle of the individual soul. So all the learning that has taken place through this evolutionary path that you have gone through, and all those impressions and information that you have gathered in this evolutionary path, is what constitutes the subconscious mind. What psychologists call the subconscious is in fact only the upper layer of the subconscious mind, which contains the impressions stored during our current lifetime. But the subconscious mind has all the information of all the generations preceding us. The conscious mind is the active, rational, decision-making level with which we are in relationship during our daily life. This section of the mind is governed by the subconscious mind and by the proportion of the supraconscious mind that can be filtered through the subconscious mind. So, of this vast ocean that we could call the mind, even if we are speaking only of the individualized mind, we only know the surface, which is the conscious mind. The nature of thought. Most thoughts that fill our mind are born of the subconscious mind and are conditioned and shaped by our impressions. We think that we think, but most of the time we are not really thinking. For pure thought comes from the supraconscious level of the mind and is always creative. It arises from the depths of our inner self and is a continuous process of expression of our own essence. These thoughts emanate from the supraconscious level like bubbles that are released from the bottom of a lake. When they reach the surface, they are known to the conscious mind. How many of these bubbles reach the conscious mind depends on the level of clarity and balance in the subconscious mind. The path of unfoldment, the tools, and the everyday practical tools, the practical philosophy that we provide to you with our courses, programs, and services precisely help to balance and clarify the subconscious mind so that you have a direct connection of the conscious mind with the supraconscious mind that we could consider the center of the person, the heart of the person. Free to be. Blow, wind, blow. I sing no ode nor praise your being. Blow over the tabletop, clothed with darkened cloud. Blow away the dirt, the garbage of a diseased mind. Blow away the unwanted turbulence that shatters the stillness of the heart. Blow, wind, blow. Litter flies held firmly in your grasp. Window shutter and the lady's scarf lost. Stone mansion protected, but the shanty. But blow on, if it could reach my mind. Blow away the dirt, the garbage of ages past. Blow, wind, blow. Blow, blow, blow. So, we need to clarify the subconscious mind, and this is the work that it is designed for us for this winter, and that we will accompany you every day with our message for the day, our daily meditations, etc., etc. We are architects of our own spiritual path. Ideals turned into facts, integrated experiences made concrete. After all, what is a cathedral if not a monument built brick by brick in homage to mystery? A concrete, tangible symbol of the search for the transcendent. A reminder of the eternal that crosses the centuries, presiding over the market square, the everyday life. This is the chain that unites the aspirations of different generations, a symbol, decanted spirituality. It is the time to settle what has been found, the rest needed by the traveler, the pilgrim, end of stage, encounter and not search, summary and substance of thought and emotion. It is time to test what has been experienced, to practice what is known, to act in the world as an example for others. So, this is exactly what we are planning for this winter, for all of you that will follow us to become the architects of our own unfoldment. And finally, the message for December 21st, the first day of the winter, which is about disappointments. In trying to maintain the construct of the ego, we unavoidably draw suffering into our own perception. We are permanently trying to maintain and keep alive the construct of our own egos. And well, this is what brings us suffering, because if we didn't mind, if we forgot of our care, of caring for ourselves, that we give so much importance to that constructs that we have in our mind, conceptual I, we want to maintain that, we necessarily are going to suffer. The suffering endured by people can be overcome. When a tendency is set in motion, it has to reach its culmination. But if we have the attitude of acceptance reinforced by the subtlest layers of the supraconscious mind, then nothing hurts and everything is accepted. Even if it hurts, we know the value of pain because this too is transient. This is not the totality of my little existence. It is a matter of giving importance to the right things. Our failures and weaknesses can be used as instruments for our own growth. We have so many disappointments in life. Disappointments are created by a feeling of insecurity, which in turn brings a feeling of inadequacy, which in turn makes you act against your own nature, which is love. And then the vicious circle starts. What can we do to get out of this vicious circle? We can do nothing but settle down. Realize how we are behaving and maybe start thinking things in a new light to come to a new perspective in life. So, with the beginning of the winter, with the beginning of this inner work, with the beginning of these 3 months that are going to follow this day, until we arrive to next spring, we are going to teach ourselves to see things from another perspective. We are going to teach ourselves to give importance to what is important. We are going to teach ourselves to forget about trying to maintain the construct of our individual idea of an I that we have. I am Ramon, I am Maria, I am Joseph, I am whatever. So, thank you very much to all of you. And with this, we finish the reading for the Winter Solstice. And now I am leaving all of you with a chant guided by Guru Raj, followed by a gong meditation that I hope you will enjoy. And all of you, most of you really know how to do this meditation. If you are new and you are watching this for the first time, you just close your eyes comfortably and just go with the flow as you listen the mantra, and the chant will be followed by a 24 minutes meditation with gong. So thank you very much, and I am now leaving you with the meditation so that you can all enjoy that meditation. Yes, Mónica?
¿Viste la luna en el ashram? Fíjate en la foto.
Yes, I'm going to put the meditation now.
Ya, pero ¿viste la luna? Qué guapa, el solsticio, mírala. Se ve desde la ventana.
Que sí, que sí.
¿La ves ahí?
Krim Chamundaya Vicheche, Aim Rim 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 Chamundaya Vicheche, Aim Rim Chamundaya Vicheche, Aim Rim Krim 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 Chamundaya Vicheche. Round 2. Aim Rim Krim Chamundaya Vicheche, 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 Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche, Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche, Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche. Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche, 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 Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche. Round 4. Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche, Aim Rim Krim Chamundaye Vicheche, Aim Rim Krim Chamundaya 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 Vicheche. Now the last round, ladies first and then gents. Aim Rim Krim Chamundaya Vicheche, 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 Aim Rim Krim Chamundaya Vicheche. 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 vicheche. Aim Rim Krim Chamundaya 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 vicheche. Shantiroshadayah, Shanti Vanaspatayah, Shanti Vishwadeva, Shanti Brahma Shanti, Sarvam Shanti, Shanti Reva Shanti, Sama Shanti Redi, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
There is peace in heavenly regions. There is peace in the atmosphere. Peace in the realms of earth. There is freshness in water, and medicinal herbs cure. Plants give peace. There is harmony in celestial objects. There is perfection in the eternal wisdom. Everything in the universe is peaceful. Peace permeates all places. May peace blossom within us.
Santa Claus is a so-called myth as far as the elders are concerned, but it is not mythical as far as the child is concerned. The child believes that there is a Santa Claus, so when a present comes, the child thinks that Santa this belief that at least we are teaching the child in this way that there is something higher than himself, that there is a gift giver. In this symbolic way, we are teaching the child that there is a power of grace that gives. You see? So when children have the belief in Santa Claus, we should not destroy that belief. They outgrade themselves as they gain greater and greater understanding. But the whole gist, the whole meaning behind it is this, that there is a power of grace existent which is a giver and not a taker. So when they have that thought in their mind, they naturally would emulate that in their later life and become givers. So that is as far as the child goes. Now when it comes to exchange of presents at Christmas time, it started with very, very good meaning. But nowadays it has been so misinterpreted. I gave Auntie Mary a crystal vase and she only sent me a tuppenny halfpenny book. Huh? Do you see? So it has become a business. It has become an exchange, and the real beauty of gift giving has been lost. Because any gift that is given, one should never expect a return. A gift should be more in the form of appreciation of anything, appreciation of friendship, appreciation of the relationship one has with the other. It is also a kind of remembrance, the true essence of it we are talking about, and not the remembrance. We might not remember at all the person concerned, but we try and impress the person by letting the person know that, look, I have remembered you by sending a card or sending a gift or something like that. And then you come home and say, go blimey, I've spent $5. Could have bought something for $2. Now, it loses all purpose. A gift should be a symbolic form of the exchange of love between two people, or whatever the case might be. So, the giver is always the gainer in everything in life. The more you give, the more you receive. That is a natural law which is totally indisputable. A person came to me who was in difficult circumstances in his business. He says, what must I do now? So we worked out a plan how he could increase his business. We went through his balance sheet, and with me having a background of a chartered accountant, I am capable of discussing his business problem with him. So we worked out a plan how he can, if he really does work, how he can come out of his problems. But I say, do this, fine, but do something else also. And that is, just give to anything you feel worthwhile, and you would see how it rebounds back on you. So, we find in this world many takers. They talk a lot, just empty words. They would go to a restaurant, and for two people they'll spend $20, $30 for an evening, but they'll pass a poor person on the road and would hesitate putting in 2 cents in the purse. And yet that would have greater value than anything else. For the giver is always the receiver. Now it is human nature. Human nature is very lecherous. They're grabbing, most natures. You'd have, I talk of personal experience. You'd have people coming to you demanding the most of your time, as if they owned you. Demanding most of your time, even this done, that one, that done, but and write long letters. They'd never think, let's put a dollar bill in Guruji's envelope so at least he can buy himself a little bottle of eye drops. Okay, no, they don't. No, they don't. But then, the person on the receiving end, how should he take it? These thoughts, naturally being human, would arise in a person's mind. And then a person of spiritual qualities, of a certain spiritual height or stature, he would say, why not? Isn't it my dharma to give? And in this way, the giving takes place. And so, although in reality it should be a two-way street, it does not always happen that way. But we ourselves must never forget our dharma. And that is important. So that is also within the framework of gift giving. You see. So gift does not only take the form of anything tangible or anything of monetary value. The greatest gift you could give a person that's in trouble, or say some comforting words, for example. And I have found through personal experience that just one word spoken very casually has had so much effect that it has transformed in hundreds of cases, and I've got letters and letters to prove it, that just one word casually spoken has transformed a person's life. Where a person's life has been so dull and dreary, and it has been transformed into of greater joy, happiness and gaiety. So these things are important. So gifts are not necessarily of tangible value, but they could be given in so many different ways. Someone comes to you in trouble, and just even a few words of comfort helps. That's also a gift. A gift means giving. Giving in whichever way and in whichever form therefore, to repeat again, the giver is always the gainer, always. So we all, if we develop the giving spirit, so much happens to us. Our own personalities gets transformed, because when you give, you become charitable. Fine. That is a great virtue. When you become charitable, you become kind, another great virtue. When you become kind, you become compassionate. When you have compassion in you, you develop greater and greater sympathy. When you develop that sympathy, you would feel the problems of the person and share it, and that very sharing of someone else's problems can lighten your own problems too, as well as lightening the problems of the person concerned. So with the small idea of giving, all these great virtues get developed in us spontaneously, without awareness. And is that not life really? Is that not life really? I do remember this story by Victor Hugo, Les Miserables, and there is one passage there which I read when I was a small boy, but I have remembered it all the time. It sticks in my mind all the time. This one man stole a loaf of bread and he was hounded by the police. I'm sure you know this story. And here he took refuge in a church, and he was so broke that when he was leaving the church, he stole a pair of candlesticks, silver candlesticks, and as he was going out, the priest was there, and the priest said, "My son, life is made to give and not to take." It's very beautiful. So all this falls under the department of gifts and giving. It must not be done with a motive that if I give Auntie Mary this, what is she going to give me? Then that becomes business. And then it ceases to be a gift. You see. And of course, the greatest gift one could ever give anyone is the sincerity and the purity of the love that is always within us. And when we say pure love, we mean cloudless love in its pristine purity. And that is great giving. So this businessman, he started giving. Although his business was in trouble, he started giving to this charity, that charity. And the law of nature works that way. You can really not define it, but somehow or the other, his business started increasing and his problems started disappearing. And he's a very prosperous man today, without the worries that he had in his particular sphere of business. Try one thing. Take a few cents in your hand every morning and just throw it away. Don't see where it falls. Just throw it away. For someone to pick it up. Sounds so simple. Sounds like nothing, does it? But in 6 months' time, you will tell me the results of it. What would happen within you? Okay, little experiment. Over a period of 6 months, a couple of cents. It's not going to cost you too much. Okay, fine, next.